the new vlog, and I have a reading update already. So I'll talk about my reading update, and then I'll talk about my plans for reading the next couple of, like, over the next week or two. So I just finished Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I started reading this at the beginning of February, and then I had to take a break because I was listening to it on Spotify audiobooks, and you only have a certain amount of time of listening, and I didn't know that. So I had to place a hold for the audiobook on Libby, and I just got it like the other day. So I took like a bit of a break from it, so I just finished it. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I really liked it. I really like Twilight. That's the first one is my favorite book out of the series, I'm pretty sure. I just liked seeing it from Edward's point of view, and I really enjoyed Bella's character a lot more from Edward's point of view. So it just made me like her more. And I don't know, I just really liked it. So yeah, I'm really glad to have finally read this and be done with it. It was like, I think 600 and some pages. Yeah, it was like 650 some pages. Like, it was a big book, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad about that. So some reading updates, or some, not reading updates, reading plans. So currently I am reading 2 books. Currently I am reading Assassin's Apprentice by Ramin Hall, which I plan on hopefully finishing like this week/weekend. I'm 50% through now. I'm on chapter 13 at page 232. There's like 400 and some pages in this book. I'm really enjoying this. I don't really have like a lot to talk about. I feel like it's a lot of world building right now, a lot of character building. Like, kind of something interesting just happened, but now we're getting into like some more progression of things happening. I don't know how to explain it well, but I'm going to talk about spoilers now, so you're aware. Okay, you gone? Okay. Where I'm at right now is he just met Lady Patience, and not for the first time, but he's finally met her, and he is getting ready to start his lessons as an heir instead of as an actual like royal heir. So everything that comes along with that, he's doing his assassin stuff as well. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening right now. We're getting ready to get into that side of things. I'm also currently reading The Ballad of Song of the Bird and Snakes. I haven't made like barely any progress with this because I've been like really like into this. And then I finished Midnight Sun, so I just like haven't read any more of this. I'm on chapter 3, page 37. I am annotating this one. I don't know if I showed you my little annotation key. I had to put one on this side over here, but yeah, like nothing's happened in this so far. So, and then I will also soon be starting. I think I'll wait until I finish one of these maybe before I start this. It depends on how I feel, but I will soon be starting Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. I'm sorry, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the last name. I am going to be starting this soon. I have my audiobook from Libby ready to go, so I'm hoping to finish Assassin's Apprentice here soon, like within a couple of days, so I can start this one, because I think as soon as I'm done with this one, I'm going to start this one, because this one will take me a little bit longer to finish, obviously, since I'm not as through that. But yeah, those are my current reading plans. After I finish those, I'm not too sure where I want to go reading wise. I guess we'll kind of see how my mood is, where I'm at. But yeah, that's all I have for you now. I will update you guys later. I think I'm gonna fill out my journal a little bit since I finished Midnight Sun. to include some stuff in there. And yeah, I'll see you in a bit.
Friends and how we like to wake up in slow motion, think about the things we'll never do. We'll talk about the ocean, but never use the lotion. It's not like I got anything to lose. One day I saw a
Hello. I know I look insane right now because I have this. My bangs were bothering me, and this is the only headband I have, I think, that I know of. So I just, you know, and I need to take a shower, and I'm just sorry for my appearance. But I want to give you a little reading update. I haven't like really been updating that much because I've really only been reading Assassin's Apprentice, and I feel like it's annoying when I just keep being like, I'm this far in the book, I'm this far in the book, because I forget to film like little in-between moments sometimes. I'm trying to get better at that, but I really don't do much but go to work, come home, read, sit at my desk, watch videos. That's really like pretty much what I do every day. So it is February 27th, so there's a couple more days left in February. We get an extra day because it's leap year. So that's exciting. But my reading update is I finished Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I loved this book. Okay, I rated this a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I loved it so much. I'm so excited to keep reading. The way Robin Hobb writes, she's just like so amazing. Like, she got me so invested in the story and these characters. Like, she made me literally, like, I was feeling what Fitz was feeling. And I was just like, and then almost like, that's like even crazier because I'm going to talk spoilers here. So if you don't want to have spoilers, skip to this timestamp. But I just find that even more interesting that I was like, almost like feeling the way Fitz was feeling, because like the whole like skill thing, and how whenever you can skill, you are pretty much, you can feel the other people's emotions, you're in their head, you know, blah, blah, blah. As well as that's just how he is with the animals as well, you know, the dogs and stuff. And I just found that really interesting because that's how I felt. Like, I felt like I was connecting to him on that same level almost while I was reading it. So I just really loved it. If you have a really hard time with animals being injured or hurt in any way, I would not recommend this book, because there are definitely some moments where it's a little rough to read if that bothers you. But yeah, overall, I loved this book. Obviously, I rated it a 5 out of 5. I feel like I've been reading a lot of 5 out of 5 books recently, but I just picked good books this month, I think. So, which I did have a couple of, I think like 3 stars, 3.5, I think, stars at the beginning of the month. So yeah, finished this. Now I'm gonna have to get the second one. And since there is still a couple more days left in February, I really want to squeeze in at least one more book, at least. But I'm off today and I'm off tomorrow, which is already like 3, almost 4 today. But I do have some things I need to do, like around the apartment. So I'm like, I can listen to audiobook while I'm doing those things. So it's very possible for me to get through another book, at least, I feel like. So the book that I really want to get through by the end of February is Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce the name. But yes, I have had this book for almost a year now, I think. I think I got it like last summer. But I just haven't got around to reading it. I got this book off of a recommendation by Catherine Karras on YouTube. I love her videos, and she talked about this book and really loving it. And so I was like, yeah, that sounds really interesting. And I love this cover. I just think it's so pretty. And I got my bookmark with the yellow string to kind of match it. Yeah, I just read the prologue. I'm getting into the first chapter a little bit. And I think I'm gonna probably take like a little bit of a break from reading, and then jump back into it whenever I start doing some things around my apartment, because I really want to start getting stuff done. Yes, this is hopefully gonna be my last book of February and finishing. I've already started kind of brainstorming what I want to read for next month, which really I probably should just finish Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes for February, because I already started it. But since I'm annotating that one, I can't just like listen to it while I'm doing stuff, so that's why I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, and I did also finally get my audiobook for The Sea of Monsters, which I could easily finish that today if I wanted to, honestly. But I already like completely marked it out of my February TBR, because I did not think I was going to get it so soon, because I still had like 10 weeks left, and I guess just nobody wanted it on my hold. So, but I only have like 9 or 8 days left on this hold that I have. So I'm like, I should just finish this, because that hold will be gone. Last time I talked to you guys, I talked about wanting to get one more book done before February. Did not accomplish that, but that's okay. I was kind of giving myself like a hard time about finishing the book in those like 3 days I had, because like I am capable, more than capable of finishing this kind of book in that amount of time. But I didn't want to force myself to do it, because then I just would have not been in a good mood. So I did get a good chunk of it done. Not all of this has been read in February. It is March now. It's March 1st. But I'm over halfway done. I'm reading Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. I'm over halfway done. This is how much I have left. I'm about 60% of the way through. I'm on chapter 23, page 292. I'm loving this book. Like, truly loving this book. It's a very fast read. It's a lot faster than I thought it was going to be, mostly because the words kind of do look really tiny, but it's been a really, really, really quick read. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to hopefully finish it up this weekend. I did make my TBR for March, which we'll talk about here. I think I did show a clip of it actually at the beginning, but we'll still talk about it, because here it is. Here it is. So first up on my March TBR is to finish Dark Rise. My plan is to finish this up this weekend. I'm so close to being done. My next reading plan is to also finish The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I am annotating this one. I literally have only read the first 2 chapters. I just, I've been focused on other books, and I honestly just haven't felt like sitting down with a book. I have to with this one since I'm annotating it. I can't just like listen to it because I gotta be paying attention so I can write and highlight and stuff. Yeah, I also want to finish that this month. Next, which is actually going to be my next read after I finish Dark Rise, which I kind of read 2 books at a time usually. So I'm hoping to read this as well as The Ballad of Songbirds at the same time. But this book should take me no time at all to read because it's pretty short compared to what I usually read. And that is Sea of Monsters by Percy Jackson. I finally got the audiobook. I've been waiting for the audiobook so I could read this. The audiobook is only 9 hours and I listen at 1.8 speed. So I should be able to finish this in no time at all. So I'm so excited to continue on with that. And then I also want to read Beautiful Chaos by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. This is the 3rd book in the Beautiful Creature series, and this is a reread, but I have only ever read this book once. I don't remember a whole lot besides the end, because the end had me sobbing the first time I read it, so I'm really excited. 518 pages, which is a little bit, just like a tiny bit longer than the second one, just by like a few pages. Then I also want to read Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the 3rd book in the series. I've never read it before. This is my favorite movie. It introduces some of my favorite characters in the entire series. Hashtag I'm a Marauders fan. Can you tell? Lastly, this month, I want to read God Emperor of Dune by Frank Herbert, which is the 4th book in the Dune series. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. 467. So I think actually a little bit longer than that. 473. Which I don't think is that much longer than The Children of Dune. I can't remember exactly, but it was only like 400 some pages too. If I read all of those, or I just don't end up wanting to read one of those, or something happens, I have some backup plans. So my backup plans are 2 Towers, which has like been on my backup plans for like months now. And then Ninth House, which I will read this month if I get the audiobook, because that's what I'm waiting on. That's the only reason I haven't read it yet. It's because I'm waiting on the audiobook. As well as Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which I'm also waiting on the audiobook for. I also have Akawar, which is the 3rd book in the ACOTAR series, and you know, I really don't have a desire to continue it right now, because I am annotating that series, and honestly I'm not in the mood to read that right now. And then lastly, Crime and Punishment, which has also been on my extras for months now. But yeah, I am really excited about this lineup. I have been pretty consistent, reading about 10-ish books a month. I think in February I read 11, but some of those were manga, and I read 10 books in January. So I'm hoping to get to that many this month as well. That is my goal. See you later when I have some kind of update for you. Hello. I haven't updated in a couple days. I finally finished Dark Rise by C.S. Bacot. I said I was going to finish this over the weekend, and that didn't happen. But that's okay. I just had, like, stuff going on, you know? I was just doing stuff, so I just didn't get to finish it. But I finished it today, literally on my lunch break. Yesterday, I could have finished it. Like, I easily could have. I literally only had, like, 20 minutes left of the audiobook. I was listening to it while waiting for my plans, but I didn't have time to listen to the last 20 minutes. And by the time I was like not doing stuff anymore, it was like I was ready to conk out. So that's what I did. And I finished it on my lunch break today. And I rated this a 4.5. But I did put it as 4 stars on Goodreads. Just because I didn't feel like it was a 4.5 rounded up to a 5. Does that make sense? I don't know. I really loved this book. I truly did. That's why I rated it 4.5. The end was crazy. Spoilers if you don't want spoilers, okay? I was not expecting Will to be the Dark King reborn. I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I definitely knew something was up, but I didn't think it was that. And maybe that's just me not reading into it. I was just taking it for what it gave me. I wasn't really thinking about it a lot, if I'm being honest. Because it just wasn't really like a thinking book for me. It was I'm having fun reading this, and it's like easy to get through. But holy hell, that was insane. And freaking Catherine's death just actually killed me. That was devastating. And I feel so bad for Will because he does not want to be this terrible person. And you can tell that he has like these separate thoughts. Like, he's not the Dark King. You know what I mean? Like, he has different thoughts and feelings. He doesn't want those things. He wants to be good, you know? But obviously some things might just be too hard to, you know, like push away. I don't know. I like this was like honestly the first book in a while that I've read that it's actually made me want to immediately get into the next one. However, I do not want to buy the hardcover. I don't. I really don't. So I am going to wait for the paperback to come out. So it doesn't come out until November 12th, which is a while, but I can probably wait that long. I have so many books to read, you know? I don't really need to add another book. Let's see what I haven't read I can read the synopsis now. And I just don't like hardcovers. But this book was really good. I really did enjoy it. 5. The only reason I put it as a 4.5 really is because there were just like some parts in the beginning, maybe not even the beginning, just like certain parts in the book where I was just like, I don't know if I like really care that much about the characters. But honestly, I think that's more so because I just didn't know them like super well, truly. I don't know. I feel like in the end, like the last like 100 pages or so, which this has been happening to me a lot of books I've been reading recently, the last 100 pages have been just like fucking insane. And really the last like 50 pages of this are insane. It's like so much happens in just the last 3 chapters. So many things left unanswered, and I really enjoyed it. I have already started The Sea of Monsters. I have 5 days left with my audiobook, but I should be able to get this out pretty quick. The audiobook is only 9 hours. So I know that it's like even shorter than that because of how fast I listen to it. I listen to 1.8 speed. Because that's the best for my brain. And even sometimes I'm like, this is a little too slow for me, like of how I would read. I don't know, whatever. The Sea of Monsters, I've already read 2 chapters, so I'm on chapter 3, page 25. Yeah, that is the update for you, and I will see you again when I have another one. Hello, sorry for the really shitty lighting, but I don't feel like turning on another light. But I have some major reading updates for you. I have finished multiple books. Since I have last spoke to you, I have read 4 books, which is insane because it's only the 10th of March. So the first book I finished this month was Dark Rise, which I already talked about with you guys. And then I finished The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. I don't think I talked about this. I read this in a day. I listened to it the day I finished Dark Rise. I read this that day. I read the whole thing. Very good. Loved it. Really enjoyed it. I remembered some things I didn't. Most things I didn't, honestly. But I really enjoyed it. I'm really excited to continue the series because from here on out, I have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm excited. The next day, I read another book in one day, which is Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. I'm sure you've heard of this book. It's a pretty popular book. It's about this girl who's been through some severe trauma. There are some trigger warnings that she's gone kind of mute for the most part. Talks sometimes, but not very often, and because of this trauma that she's went through. And yeah, it was a really good book. I rated this Percy Jackson, I rated this a 4 out of 5. This I rated a 3.5, and then I rounded it up to a 4 on Goodreads because I did really enjoy it. There were just some parts that I was not a huge fan of, or it was just kind of slow. And it was just just like a little read, not like my favorite book in the world. And then the next day, I read another book in a day, really in a morning, which that is like me listening to audiobooks most of the time. Like this, I was doing errands all day and I listened to the audiobook, well, in the morning, which is If I Stay by Gail Foreman. This has been on my TBR for years, literally years, since it got popular because the movie came out. I just never read it, and I've never seen the movie because I wanted to read the book before I watched the movie because I was silly like that, and I stuck to that. So I read this, and now I can finally watch the movie. I really enjoyed this. I think I rated this a 4. I'm pretty sure I rated this a 4. I really liked this. It made me cry multiple times throughout reading it / listening to it. But yeah, I really liked this. It was a good, solid read. I just finished this one today. This one did take me a couple days to read, and that is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. None of these books were on my TBR except for The Sea of Monsters, because most of my books that are on my TBR, I'm still waiting on the audiobook. So I had to fill in some gaps in these audiobooks I could borrow immediately. So that's what I did. Just finished this today. I rated this a 3 stars. I'm pretty sure. This was really good. I did really enjoy this. I've never seen the movie, so all of this was a complete surprise to me reading it. It was fine. I liked it. I did like it. It was really interesting. I thought all of the stuff was just crazy. It was just insane. Psychotic behavior. It did make me very just sad and depressed at the end. The ending was not great, but I get it. I understand. I understand, but it's very depressing. But yeah, so that's really exciting. I feel really good that I've read that much already. But yesterday, last night, this morning, I don't really remember, I finally got my audiobook in for Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So I am going to be starting this tomorrow. That's my plan. I'm not reading any more tonight because I read so much of this today. And this weekend in general, I really read most of this in 2-3-ish days. And it's 500 and some pages. So yeah, but I am going to be starting this, and I love this cover. I have the Barnes & Noble edition with the red sprayed edges, and if I enjoy this, I am going to be getting the Barnes & Noble edition of Hellbent, which is the second one. But yeah, and yeah, I just got back from con. I didn't take any footage because I'm just, seriously, I wasn't thinking about it. I'll include some pictures. I dressed up as Simon from Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake. It's like Fiona and Cake, Simon. I have not done a reading update in a while. And honestly, I don't even remember the last book I talked to you about. I'm pretty sure it was Gone Girl. I'm pretty sure I talked about that. Since then, I have finished Ninth House, which I rated a 3.5. I enjoyed it. I was just like not really interested in it until like the last bit of it. I just like wasn't, there were just a lot of things that were too confusing to me, and it was just throwing me off, and I just didn't enjoy in the beginning. But it wasn't enough to be like, I'm not enjoying this, you know? And I really did end up like liking it towards the end. But yeah, I also read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I ended up giving it a 4 stars. I was debating at first when I was reading it like a 3.5, but I did really, really, really end up enjoying it. Really enjoyed my time reading it. So I read some of God Emperor of Dune, which is the 4th book in the Dune series, but I lost my hold on it because I took too long to start it. And now I have another hold, and it's like weeks waiting. So I only made like 30-ish%, maybe a little less than that, of the way through it so far. But now it's on a standstill because I have no audiobook. But today I finally was like, I am just going to try and get through a good chunk of this, if not finish it tonight. Because I have been trying to fucking just read this book forever. But because I really want to annotate it, I've been just kind of pushing it off because I just haven't really been in the annotating mood. But there are just certain books that I just really want to annotate. And I like won't allow myself to just simply read it because I want to annotate it. This is one of those books I've been pushing off. But I finally have been getting through it. And it's The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I really wanted to annotate it because I'm doing a reread of The Hunger Games this year. That's my goal. And I really want to annotate it because it's like one of my favorite series ever. So yeah. So I wanted this one to be annotated as well. I wanted to read this first before rereading the series so I can get like this perspective going into later on, and you know, that hope is. So currently I just made it to part 3, chapter 21 at page 323. So I am over halfway. I really only got like a third of it left. Literally, it's part 3. So but I have been annotating it. I'm really happy with the colors and the way they like, I feel like they match the cover really well. I feel like you can't tell super well on camera, but I have like white ones for snow. I did my key a little bit differently for this than I do for like normal fantasy type books. Just because it's not like a super serious annotation, but my white ones are for snow, purple for Lucy Gray. The dark greens are things that make me angry. The light green is sad. The darker green is lines that I like, just parts I like. And then gold is like Katniss, so like things that like kind of hint to Katniss. And right now I only have one thing that I have put in for that. But yeah, that's what my tabs mean. I think they're really good. I really like them. Let me see if I can kind of like look at that. I think they look really nice with my book. So yeah, I'm gonna try and finish this tonight. I have currently read, I think, let me actually count. I think 6 books. I could be so wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure I've read 6 books this month so far, which I really only have like a week-ish left of this month. But if I finish this today, I'll make 7, and then I can probably finish a couple more between then. So I have been enjoying this, you know. It's classic Suzanne Collins, you know, Hunger Games. I loves. Definitely don't love it as much as like the OG series, obviously, because those are just my loves, you know. And I do feel like Coriolanus kind of just drones on a lot sometimes. Sometimes some of this is long-winded, but it's really because you're kind of in his perspective watching the games, so he's really just telling you what's happening, and sometimes it just seems like it's just going on and on and on. Gonna go read more of this, maybe make dinner soon, I'm not sure.